Most procurement organizations are approaching AI completely backwards. They start with technology, search for places to use it, and then wonder why pilots never create meaningful business value. I get it. CPOs are under a lot of pressure to demonstrate progress. They're getting asked all the time from CFOs, what are you doing with AI these days? But more pilots do not necessarily mean more value. Lots of activity going on, but how are we actually achieving real business results? There are 3 ways that CPOs can approach this differently, and I'm going to go through all of those in this quick little video today. So listen up, it's packed full of information. So the first one is stop asking, where can we use AI? Instead, which mission is important enough for AI to improve? Okay, so see the difference? Lots of activity, where can we use AI? But the more valuable approach is, which procurement mission is important enough for AI to improve? This conventional approach, the conventional approach is to buy a platform. We're seeing it all the time right now. Demonstrate capabilities, brainstorm possible applications. It creates a lot of interesting ideas, but they're not always the valuable ones, and they're not grounded in what is truly valuable for a procurement organization. So start with a real procurement objective, like reduce sourcing cycle time, improve contract risk identification, give category managers more strategic capacity, improve intake quality, find opportunities in fragmented data. We still have that, don't we? All of those are real cases that we've seen from clients over the last several months, and they're grounded missions before we just start playing with AI and creating a lot of activity. Then define through our 5D approach at Wonder Services. The first one is the discover phase. And that's where we define the baseline, what's happening today, the desired outcome, the process owner of how they're going to own it today and well into the future, the effective and impacted users of this new process, and how will success truly be measured. This is the discover phase of Wonder's 5Ds. Now, here's the bottom line on this one. Think about this differently. If I'm a CPO or a leader of one of these AI initiatives, AI in itself should not be the mission. AI should support a mission procurement already needs to accomplish. Okay? That is something that you should just stick in your mind all the time. AI should not be the mission itself. It should accomplish a mission that our procurement already needs to accomplish at the end of the day. Okay, so that is number 1. Make sure that you are truly grounded. Start with that discovery phase first and make sure that mission and the measurement are clearly defined. The second one is don't automate the current process. This is the second idea, and one that can be really thought about differently. And we saw this historically too. It's not just an AI problem, the old lift and shift model. The idea here is to think about this differently and truly reimagine the work before deciding what AI should do. So many organizations just take the existing process and layer on AI. It's kind of like how there was a meme where you had a bunch of French fries and people just kept on putting sauces on top of the French fries. That's what a lot of people are doing these days. And it really just gets you crap faster. You can take a broken process, you can have a poor process, and it just moves faster. Before automating, ask these questions. Which steps should disappear? Which decisions require human judgment? What can AI analyze, recommend, and draft? Where is a human review absolutely mandatory? What data and controls are required? How should stakeholder experience improve as a result? For example, you simply don't just say, I want to use AI to draft an RFP faster. It's very limited scope. It could work for you, but you're not going to get real, true business results as an outcome. Redesign the sourcing workflow could be like AI organizes intake. It identifies missing requirements. It can propose relevant questions. Sourcing professional can then determine strategy, risk, supplier dynamics, and the negotiations choices, maybe with AI supporting it. The goal is not to remove people from procurement. It is to remove low value work so people can contribute more judgment, more strategy, and more relationship value at the end of the day. So step number 2 is actually the second D in the 5 Ds from Wonder. It's the design process. A lot of people skip right over it and don't think about this truly as like a new way of operating versus automating a step in the process. Okay, contrarian idea number 3 is treat adoption as part of the implementation, as a work stream in the implementation. Most AI projects treat adoption as something that happens after the technology is working. That is too late. A technically successful pilot does not prove that employees will trust the output, know how to challenge the output, understand what their new responsibilities are, change established behaviors within that process, and continue to use the solution after the project team leaves. So we thought about this about several years ago. We developed a methodology called RAY, which is Rapid Adoption Enablement. And it is the way that you can organize the right procurement, technology, data, risk, and change stakeholders around the work. They become the working team with adoption embedded within it. So as you go through the rest of the phases of the 5 Ds, which is develop, demonstrate, and delight, the project team, this RAY way of working, tests more than just functionality. So for instance, does it work with real procurement data? Can users understand the output? Are human and AI decisions rights clearly defined between the two? Are leaders reinforcing the new behaviors day in and day out that are needed within the organization? Can the team measure and learn and improve this solution well after the project team disbands? So we're not just talking about developing technology in the 5D phases, particularly the third D, which is develop and demonstrate. It's not just technology. It's the human capability that needs to be reviewed and tested and understood as we move these projects forward. So adoption is not the final work stream of an AI project. It is one of the critical design elements and requirements that needs to be embedded all the way through. So these seem to be 3 simple shifts. Start with a measurable procurement mission, not a tool. Redesign, reimagine the work instead of just getting crap faster. And build adoption, leadership, and role clarity into the implementation. It is very much part of the implementation. Don't just think of this as a technology deployment. It is a op model deployment that requires people to be highly involved and roles to be clarified, etc. So at Wonder, the 5 Ds guide the journey from discovery all the way through value, and Ray organizes the people, accountability, and execution required to make it work. The goal is not more AI activity. The goal is to have one valuable use case designed around real work, governed appropriately, and adopted by the people who are responsible for delivering the outcome. That is how you get real value. So the CPOs who create the most value from AI will not necessarily be the ones who deploy the most tools. They will be the ones that have the right mission, they have reimagined the work, and they lead their people effectively through this change. So I'm curious, with these 3 changes clearly outlined, which of these 3 shifts make the biggest difference or could make the biggest difference in your procurement organization? I would love to hear that in the comments. If you're living through this right now, I would love to hear the comments. If you're an employee that's living through all the AI activity and it doesn't seem to be following this, I would love to also hear from you. Hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us at Wonder Services on these very important topics. Until next time, see you later.